A very pleasant morning to one and all. The power of imagination makes us infinite. Somewhere, something incredible is waiting to be unknown. Bowing my head to the lotus feet of Sri Suttur Guru Parampare, Sri Suttur Veeda Simhasana Mahasamsthana Mata, seeking the divine blessings of Swamiji and Jesus Mahavidyapita, respected dignitaries, distinguished guests, delegates, I, Rohit Anand, Assistant Professor, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, feel privileged to be the master of ceremony for the inauguration of 3 days workshop on scholarly publications, tools and techniques, co-organized and hosted by Library and Information Center, JSS Science and Technology University. We are all fortunate for being the part of this event in this diamond jubilee year of Sri Jaichamarajendra College of Engineering, Mysore. Seeking the blessings of His Holiness, we shall begin today's function by invoking the Almighty to shower His blessings on each of us. It's a mark of our underlying tradition to invoke the Almighty at the beginning of every important day. Now, I would like to call upon Srimati Khara, member from Library, to render the invocation song. Thank you, madam, for the blissful invocation. Welcoming is an art and it sprouts from the heart. So, to express it at this gesture, may I request in taking the pleasure of inviting the Sri K.L. Basappa sir, convener of this workshop, to deliver the welcome address.
At the outset, I submit my respectful pronouns to the lotus feet of His Holiness, Jagadguru Sri Shivaraj Vidyashikendra Maha Swamiji, the President of JSS Mahavidyapita and the Chancellor of JSS Science and Technology University. SJC and JSS STU has grown and expanded its wings in the technical education space under the inspiration guidance of the leadership of Mahaswamiji. I seek the divine blessings of His Holiness Swamiji on the occasion of 3 days workshop on scholarly publication, tools and techniques. I consider it is a great privilege and honor to extend warm welcome to Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor B.D. Kumba, Vice Chancellor, Davangere University, Davangere, for accepting our invitation for inaugural function and also to deliver the
all the dignitaries on the dais to light the lamp and symbolically inaugurate this event. And also by showering the flowers with Suttur Guru Parampara, I request the gathering to please wait for the Now, can I request with our beloved principal and Dean Engineering and Technology to brief about the 3-day workshop to all our enthusiastic participants?
management in worst case, the government is spending crores of crores rupees, but the utilization, the point is very, very less. Take this point is very important. And how to take it very effectively in the community. And how to use the economic opportunity completed 60 years. Under this silent celebration, conducting this 3 days workshop, scholarship and most of the resource person today, tomorrow, and day after tomorrow, all of you are whatever the resource person, they are giving the insights, information. We are to share the seeking his blessings. And today we have gathered here for one of the wonderful program which is very much needed in all our academics as well as our professional developments. So firstly, I congratulate the Department of Library Science for arranging such a wonderful program, because this is considered to be one of the very unique program which really has come out with very interesting topics that will be deliberated for the 3 days. So congratulate the library department for making this to happen. Also we could see some of the research scholars who are attending and who are participating in this event. So in fact I was just going through the topics that have been chosen and also the resource persons. So probably these 3 days will be an extremely very interesting topics that will be deliberated by best of the best resource persons. The reason is there are many, because since there are many research scholars are there here, many of the fundamental things we really lack, even though we are doing a wonderful best research, but unfortunately we have not able to showcase that what are the type of research that we are doing. So there are so many tools and techniques that are available which will be supported by the library, which we are not using to the best extent. In fact, even though we are the good researchers and publishing good publications in the highly reputed journals, but unfortunately we are not really pushing our the type of research work that we are doing to the outside world, where really we are lacking the the perception of what the research type of research that we are doing impersonally, and also which really gives the good mileage to the university and the department. So in that sense we need to really give a thought of how to improvise ourselves in understanding the various topics, like what is citations, what is H index, what is I index. In fact, there is an a topic that will be deliberated by one of the resource persons, which is very important for any research scholar. And next, with respect to the indexing, yes, in fact, we used to receive lot of emails from the library department saying that they have subscribed for so many very interesting journal axis. It could be Elsevier, or it could be Science Direct, or it could be IEEE and some of the very interesting journals. but how well, to the what extent that we are using, even that also to be given a thought. And we being the teachers, it's not that we only take the advantage of that, but we should be in a position to push that information to our postgraduate student and also to the undergraduate students. In that sense, yes, we need to really understand what are the various subscriptions that are being, because university is spending more than a crores of rupees just for the library department. So try to make use of such subscriptions to the best extent. And copyrights, yes. So because nowadays it's so stringent that even we cannot really pick any sentence from any article or any published material that is already available in the Google, because it's so vast. The indexing of the Google is so vast to the best extent. Even if you the small information is floated to the internet, automatically it will be indexed and it will be citing towards the plagiarism content. I think most of your research articles, if you go for the plagiarism check by using the different tools, I think you might have seen the same, your own publications are giving the maximum rate of plagiarism. So how to avoid that? So once again an wonderful topic to be discussed and deliberated during this event. So there are many as such very interesting topics that are designed. So I request all the research scholars as well as the participant to use to the best of this workshop. This is about the workshop, and just to highlight some of the very interesting aspects of our university and the college, because I was supposed to tell something about our institute and the university. Sri Jayachamrajendra College of Engineering, which was started in the year 1963. Now celebrating its Diamond Jubilee, that is, it has completed its 60 years, and the great legacy spread across all over the world. The alumni network is so strong. Go to any nook and corner of the globe, you can find the alumni who are graduated from this great institute. During the year 2008, based on the progress that we made, the Vishweshwaraya Technological University as well as the Government of Karnataka has awarded the autonomous status to the Sri Jayachamrajendra College of Engineering, and we never, delayed in our rigorous growth. So within the span of just hardly around 8 years, we could have converted this autonomous status into a state-private university, a state-private university. So under the Private University Act, the university, the JSS Science and Technology University was established in the year 2016, and we are just 7 to 8 years old, but making very benchmark kind and giving a very benchmark competitions to the others who are playing a major role in the field of engineering, technology, and even in science. So coming to the very interesting aspects of our university, we receive more than 400 plus companies every year. Almost the circuit branches nearingly more than 95% of placement, and also the non-circuit branches crossing more than 60% of the placement recruitments. So other than that, we also support a lot of activities like students to take the different competitive exams, service exams, and now the trend has started, especially to get into the defense, the Indian defense, either in the army, land army, navy, or even in the air force. So with the guidance of our honorable vice chancellor, we are also able to establish lot of clubs in the different departments, which are doing wonderful activities and giving a lot of contribution to the regularly needed society problems. So in that sense, university is really doing a great job, and we also participate in many of the rankings. Just to mention, the government conducted a ranking process, that is NIRF, that is National Institute Ranking Framework, where in fact you and your library and library tools, which really plays a very important role at the back end to fetch the data to award this rank. We achieved 158th rank, and our associate team is also here, who is giving all the pushing all the data towards the further improvements of the university ranking. So with this brief note on Sri Jai Chamarajendra College of Engineering and the JSS Science and Technology University, on behalf of the registry and on behalf of the JSS Science and Technology University, I once again welcome each and everyone for this great workshop. We wish you a very best for this 3-day, and hopefully you take the best out of best from the very renowned resource person. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for adding more colors to by sharing about our prestigious institution to the August gathering. Education in today's world is not just teaching and learning within the four walls of the classroom. It's about creating research culture among the students and the faculties too. Our university is doing the best to meet the requirement, and a new step in this direction, Library and the Information Center have come up with organizing this 3-day workshop. To add more fragrance to this workshop, we have our chief guest, Professor B.D. Kumbar, who is the Vice Chancellor at the Davangere University. To just a brief about Sir, he served as a president of Indian Library Association, ILA, from April 2019 to March 2022. He is a senior professor, retired, and a renowned scholar in the Department of Library and Information Science, Karnataka University, Dharwad. He joined the Karnataka University during 1986 as a lecturer, and 1997 he has been promoted as a reader, and in 2005 he elevated as a professor, in which capacity he served till superannuation in 2021. He served as Secretary and Vice President of Indian Association of Teachers of Library and Information Science. He received the Library and the Information Science Academy Achievers Award in 2019 from LIS Academy, Bengaluru. ILA awarded him Dr. C.D. Sharma Best Paper Award during 50th ILA conference, which was being held during the year of 2004. He has successfully organized many conferences and the Indian Library Association, New Delhi ILA international conferences, and he has been associated with more than 25 universities in the country as a board of examiners, a board of studies, and the board of appointments. He has served as a member of Academic Council of Karnataka University and also as an elected member of Senate and Finance Committee, Secretary and the President of Karnataka University Postgraduate Teachers Association, and he has served as a member of various committees constituted by the Karnataka University from time to time. He has published more than 160 research papers in Indian and the foreign journals, and with many volumes, and he has been edited about 15 books including conference proceedings, and he has a good number of PhD theses from various universities he has been guided with. About 19 candidates were awarded PhD degree in his guidance, and presently 5 scholars are pursuing research with him. He has delivered keynote addresses and directed conferences. He is a resource person in various distance education institutions such as Karnataka State Open University. He has delivered guest lectures in a number of universities and academic staff colleges in Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Haryana, Punjab, Delhi, and Telangana. His areas of specialization includes management of library and information centers, and human resource management and development, and the public library systems. He is a life member of ILA, New Delhi, and an Indian Association of Teachers of Library and Information Science. To add more colors to it, he was being honored with the Festschrift entitled Librarians and Resource Management in the Knowledge Society. We are very much fortunate to have you, sir, as a chief guest for today. Now, can I request with Dr. B.D. Kumbar, sir, to deliver the inaugural address to the August gathering.
Good morning, all of you. The dignitaries on the dais, the President of the inaugural function of the 3 days, the national seminar that is on scholarly publications, tools and techniques. Dr. A.N. Santosh Kumar, the Vice Chancellor of JSS, STU, Mysore. Professor S.P. Kude, the Principal of this college. Dr. Harish, Deputy Registrar. Sri K.L. Basappa, the convener of the conference. The deans of various faculties. My colleagues and friends, Professor Malinath, Dr. Harinarayana, Dr. Sampath Kumar, Madam Srimati Kumbar, and my dear participants of these 3 days national seminar. See, first of all, I congratulate Sri K.L. Basappa for organizing these 3 days event. Especially I congratulate him for the selection of the best topic. In fact, this is going to be considered as the need of the hour. You name any institutions or the organizations, including the universities, even individuals, we have been recognized. It is only on the basis of the publications we are going to publish. See, this is the individual contribution that is to the field in which you are serving. Whether you are an engineer or a doctor or a professor, the field is not important. And again, you remember, your organization as well as your field is not going to help you to recognize or to get some awards that is in your field. It's only your individual contribution. That is called a scholarly communication or scholarly publication or the scientific, the papers. You are going to publish and you are going to contribute something that is to the existing knowledge that is in your discipline. So just I will quote George Bernard Shaw. If you have an apple, I have an apple, and if we exchange these apples, then you and I will have only one apple. In a similar way, if you have an idea, I have an idea, if we are going to exchange each other, then you are also having 2 ideas, I am also having the 2 ideas. So that is how in the field of the scientific publications or scholarly communication, especially you have to remember the 21st century. If you want to play a dominant role that is in your discipline, or if you want to become a hero or heroine, not in the field, that is through your publications, you have to contribute something that is to the discipline. Again, to quote according to Robert A. Day, good scientific writing is not a matter of life or death. It is much more serious than that. So that is how today I request especially the library and information science professionals, because you are going to be regarded or you are going to be considered as a partner that is in the research. So Ranganathan told long back, the father of library and information science in India, librarian is a teacher. So it's very easy to designate, but we have to prove it. When you are going to become a partner that is in the research, you need to understand each and every aspect of the research, especially that is in the organization you are serving. The type of research is going on that is in your institution, the type of research is going on that is outside your organization, the contributions of your own organizations that is for each and every discipline, then the contributions that is at the national level as well as the global level. When you are keeping in touch with such type of the publications that are readily as well as the easily accessible, so try your level best to provide an easy access that is to the publications. Then only your teachers, researchers, students, research scholars, they will be in a position to continue their research. Because research is a process, it's a lifelong process. If you are doing one day research, then again you are taking a rest, then again you will be not in a position to continue your research. So therefore, you have to remember, especially in the field of library and information science, nowadays the UGC care list journals number is decreasing, it's not increasing, decreasing. And again, the many institutions, the organizations like UGC, so it's asking minimum 2 publications, 3 publications, 5 publications, that is for your promotions. So first of all, you have to involve, that is in the writing the scientific papers. When you are going to involve, basically that is in writing the scientific papers, then only you will be in a position to understand the ins and outs of the scientific research. Then only you can support the teaching, research and other activities of your organization. So the scholarly communication, it is an essential part of any scientific research. Suppose it has to play a vital as well as an important role, that is in the social as well as the economic development of a nation in general and society in particular. The scholarly communication, this is going to be considered as the lifeblood of the university's teaching as well as the research mission. As I told, in the 21st century, your institution is going to be recognized only on the basis of the research funding. How much fund your organization is receiving from the national as well as the international organization. Look here, one side, the funding agencies, they are not supporting, they are not providing the funds. On the other hand, the organizations like the AICT, UGC and other national bodies, they are putting a lot of pressure, that is on each and every organizations, including the engineering technological universities or the engineering colleges. Suppose each and every teacher, you have to get 1 or 2 projects. Even in future, your projects are going to be considered, that is for your promotion. Suppose if you want to build your lab, the university or the institution or the management is not providing any financial assistance. It's only the funding agencies. When you are preparing a good proposal, that is for your project. When you are getting a lot of money, that is in the form of the project, then you can build your own laboratories. So that is how today almost all the organizations, that is at the international level as well as the national level, they are making you to do something. So if you are not going to do something, then again you will be no more, that is in the field or in the profession. So with the advent of the new technologies, the nature of the scholarship and the scholarly communication has expanded beyond the traditional print formats to include other means of dissemination, such as email, preprint servers, e-journals, e-books, e-servers, distance learning, etc. So in an online environment, issues of copyright, intellectual property rights, and the long-term preservation of the digital assets are posing new challenges, that is to the faculty members, administrators, including library and information science professionals. Researchers, in their research work, they have to depend upon only the seniors or ancestors, while the extent and as well as the use of the scientist's work or the researcher's work as a source for the work of the other authors is the verification of its contributions to the growth of the human knowledge. The scholarly communication is the process. As a process, it is a process of academics, scholars, researchers sharing and publishing their research findings so that they are available to the wider academic community, as such university academics and behind. The scholarly communication can be defined as the system through which the research and other scholarly writings are created, evaluated for quality, disseminated to the scholarly community and preserved for the future use. The system includes both journal as well as the informal communications. The scholarly communication is the creation, transformation, dissemination and preservation of the knowledge related to teaching, research and scholarly endeavors. Among the many scholars, communications issues include author rights, the peer review process, the economics of scholarly resources, new models of publishing, including open access and institutional repositories, rights and access to federally funded research and preservation of intellectual assets. The scholarly communication system refers to the formal as well as the informal process by which the research and the scholarship of the faculty, researchers, independent scholars are created, evaluated, edited, formatted, distributed, organized, made accessible to the public, archived, used and transformed. Association of Research Libraries. So in a simple term, it's a lifeblood of any academic institution's teaching and research mission, which reflects the process of academics, scholars and researchers sharing and publishing their research findings so that they are available to the wider academic community such as university academics and behind. According to Borman, he describes scholarly communication as the study of how scholars in any discipline or in any field, say for example physical sciences, biological sciences, social sciences, including behavioral sciences and science and technology, use and disseminate information through formal and informal channels. So the means of the scholarly publications are scientific publication. The journal is a means of scholarly information and communication. As you know, as just now I have been mentioned, journal is going to play or it is going to be considered as the major means for publishing our publications or an article. So first of all, as a researcher, you have to search for the title of the journal. It is based on only, because you know whether you are publishing 100 articles or only 10 articles. Even sometimes the 10 articles, they are going to bring you a lot of name and fame. That is, as a writer, as an author, I am telling you. So therefore, as a researcher, first of all, you have to be careful, that is in the selection of the journal itself. Whether the journal has got local recognition, regional recognition, national recognition and the international recognition. So as a beginner, you cannot publish, that is your first article or the second article that is in the national as well as the international journals. That also you have to keep it in your mind, because otherwise, you know, many times you are going to failure, because once or second or twice, thrice you are going to failure. Next you are not going to put any attempt for writing an article. That is how you have to be careful. And again, even at the time of the publishing an article also, you have to make use of your guide or the supervisor, because you know, as a teacher, as a researcher, as the president of the Indian Library Association, I have seen, because you know, I was the chief editor for the Indian Library Association journal, that's called a JILA, Journal of Indian Library Association, as you know very well, JILA. Because when you are sending an article, first of all, the reviewers, they will be looking at your co-author. Who is your co-author? Who is your guide? Who is your supervisor? So that is how you have to remember, because your supervisors, your guides, your seniors, they are going to play a dominant role, that is in your first, the second and the third publication. Even along with the formal publications, there are so many informal way of the publications also. Let us, you can try at the beginning with the informal channels of the communications, like writing a chapter for a book, publishing an article that is in the seminar volumes or the proceedings. Say for example, this 3 days, the national seminar, so if you are presenting a paper, if you are going to publish a paper, so then you will be in a position to learn what are the tools and techniques you can use, how you can write a paper and how you can help the friends also. Then you have to concentrate, that is on what is scientific research writing. Just you have to remember, writing is very important part of science, technology, including the humanities at present. It is used to document and communicate ideas, activities and findings to others. Scientific writing can take many forms, from a lab notebook to a project report, or from a paper that is in an academic journal to an article that is in a scientific magazine. It is a technical form of writing that is designed to communicate scientific information to other scientists. Scientific writing almost always begins with a question that cannot be definitively answered out of our previous as well as the personal experience. So it's only your expertise that is going to help in solving some of the problems. The scientific paper is a written and published report describing the original research results. And again, finally, you have to remember, the goal of the scientific writing is to communicate scientific information clearly and concisely. So the systematic collection, interpretation and evaluation of data in a planned manner that is done for the purpose of contributing towards science is called scientific research. A written and published report that depicts scientific research results is called a scientific research paper. A research paper is the instrument that communicates the research work to the wider scientific community. Unpublished results of scientific research are restricted only to the researcher and his comrades. The scientific journals publish research work that leads to knowledge dissemination and makes the wider world aware of the scientific work and its results. A research paper is the instrument that communicates the research work to the wider scientific community. The scientific publication industry, it is a big industry. Once again I will repeat, the scientific publication industry is becoming a big industry. They are making a lot of money at present. Even majority of the scientists, they are not in a position to publish their own articles, that is in the internationally recognized journals, because of the financial problems. So it has been estimated that around 28,000 peer-reviewed journals, they are going to publish some 2 million scientific articles annually every year, and they are generating nearly around $25 million. Just you can imagine, $25 billion in global publishing revenue, and again they are employing more than 1 lakh workers. So this is the survey conducted by Mr. Collins and Bassat way back to 2018. So that is how here in the beginning itself I told you not to try for the international journals. You start your journey, that is with the local to regional, regional to the national, and finally you can reach the international. Then to mention something that is about some of the important sections of the scientific research paper. So in many times, as a writer, you do not know what are the important parts or the sections they are going to be covered, that is in your scientific paper or scientific publication. So first of all, you have to remember the introduction. So in the introduction, you have to state very clearly the purpose of the paper with hypothesis as well as the methodology. Then again you have to write around 250 words abstract. This is going to help the reviewers to understand what is the main purpose of writing this particular the paper as well as the objectives of the paper, that is to the reviewers. Then review of literature. So this is going to help you, and this is going to show you the pathway how to continue your journey, that is in scientific writing. The methodology are the materials and the methods. So in this section you have to remember and you have to make use of some of the key terms used in the research are described. You have to describe very clearly, and again this methodology or the methods you have to describe the research instruments you are using, the procedures you are using, the methodology you are using, the tools and techniques you are using very clearly. Then results. The findings of the study are reported here. It may include the tables, the figures, and again it is going to summarize us the data of the information. So the discussion. Discussion is the main part of the paper, and the reports of the findings and observations, sharing thoughts, analysis and interpretation of the data collected, that is for the purpose of your research. Then conclusions. In the conclusions, so you have to present the paper, because the conclusions, they should be based on only the data. Your data has to support the conclusion. And finally, so you have to give some important references you are using, that is for writing the paper. But unfortunately, that's in the country like India, in each and every discipline, because library and information science is not an exceptional, but in each and every field, so we are going to forgo, we are not going to give the references, that is the authors, the articles, the books chapters we are making use, that is for writing our article. Suppose if you are not going to give references, you are going to be penalized. Just to remember, because your article is going to be considered under the plagiarism. That is why you have to give the sufficient acknowledgement, that is for your authors. Then you have to give abbreviations, tables, figures, then whatever the information that has not been covered, that is under your main thesis or the article, so you have to enclose in the form of the appendix. Then why scientific writing or scientific publishing? There are 4 or 5 reasons here I have been identified, just you have to go through why scientific writing or the publishing. Number 1, it gives us an opportunity to improve our knowledge base. So whenever you are writing an article, it is going to help in improving your knowledge base that is in a particular field, existing as well as the prospective, and share our ideas and thoughts with the wider scientific community. The second reason is, it is going to help us to gain recognition amongst our colleagues as well as the contemporaries. The third reason is, it gives us a sense of having achieved something, because whether just you have to interact, that is with your teachers, they will be in a position to tell you, you are going to be recognized only when you are going to publish 1 or 2 articles, because whatever you are going to achieve, whatever the type of the services day and night you are going to render to, that is your students community, ultimately the team which is inspecting your library, so when we are going to conduct an interview for your first promotion, second promotion, immediately we are going to ask how many publications. You start telling only about your services, the day and night you are entering services. So along with your services, it's only your contribution that is going to help in achieving something behind the regular as well as the routine commitments of our office work as well as the services. The fourth reason is our career graph. Our career graph rises as publishing research papers has been made mandatory by the AFEX as well as the regulatory bodies of the institution. So Dr. Harish was mentioned, that is about the H index, I index and other indexes. So when you are having say around 1000, 2000 and more than 5000 the citations, probably in the 21st century your recognition will be based on only the citation index. Sometimes it's very difficult, because especially earlier when we the library and information science professionals, we have started research that is conducting on identifying the citations of a particular teacher who is the best, the scientific writer that is in each and every disciplines. They started quarreling with us, how you are capable of reviewing or evaluating my articles. So it's not the question, it's only the machine is going to interpret at present. Everything is data analysis, data interpretation, even the results are also coming, even the figures are also coming. So everything is based on only the software which has been prepared, that is at the global level as well as the national level. That's what I am requesting all the scientists, especially the engineering and technology scientists. Your recognition will be based on only the citations you are going to receive. Your papers, they are going to be referred by each and every the scientist or the engineering or the technologists, that's at the global level. So that is how. So this year only, because I am happy to share here, our 3 of the noted mathematicians, that is from Davangere University, I hope you have read, that is in the newspaper also. 3 students and 3 professors, this is continuously 3rd year. They are going to be recognized within the 2% of the global level mathematicians. 2%, within the 2%. 3 professors. 1 professor is having 6,000 citations. The another one is having 4,000. The third one is having 3,000 citations. That's what just I am convincing, through which our young library scientists as well as the young engineering scientists, the technological scientists, your recognition that is at the global level, it is going to help you to grow up, that is in your own profession, and as well as it is going to help you, that is in your individual profession also. And lastly, we must realize that individually our research may be a drop that is in the ocean, but collective contribution from all the research scholars holds the future of the health sciences. So I think my time is over. Just I will take another 2 to 3 minutes, because just I wanted to share another 2 important components. One is the stages that is in the process. The majority of the young and budding library scientists here, as I told, you have to choose the best journal. That's how this is the first and the most important stage in the process of writing scientific publication. Second one is you have to select the format style, then submission of your article, then editor assignment, then it will go to the peer review. Then again the peer reviewers, they are going to make a decision whether the article is going to be published as it is or some corrections are required. Then once they are going to ask you some revisions, immediately you have to revise your article and you have to send back. Then finally you will get the acceptance. Once your journal article is accepted, then copy editing and proofs, and the final online publication and inclusion, that is in the issues. So these are all the sum of the important processes. The another important aspect just I wanted to mention that is about the scientific paper is the plagiarism. Because the information technology as well as the information communication technology and the internet has brought incredible changes that is in the scholarly work. The availability of online information and open access sources, they have made it easier as well as more tempting a copy or to quote another person's original works without acknowledgement. Without acknowledgement. The amounts to plagiarism or academic fraud that is considered as a serious crime and carries severe penalties also. It is a fact that the most of the students in Indian educational institutions do not have the idea that is on plagiarism. So it is the duty of the library and information science professionals. You have to create an awareness that is in the minds of the students especially as I am seeing the students' projects. It's not only in the field of engineering technology. I am not commenting that is about your own organization, your own field. You name any discipline. Nowadays, especially the projects we are giving that is to our students, in majority of the organizations, they are changing only the title page. They are changing only the title page. I am talking about the project. Even in fact, if the proper plagiarism is not going to take place, even it is going to happen, that is in the case of some of the articles as well as the thesis. I am telling to you, copying is not a crime. Copying is not a crime. But what is crime? When you are copying, if you are not going to give an acknowledgement, that is the crime. So that is how just you have to create this important information awareness that is in the minds of the students and the research scholars, those they are involving, that is in the scientific publications. And other remaining aspects, because here Sampath Kumar is there and others, resource persons, they are going to help you to understand more and more that is about the scholarly publications and what are the important tools and techniques you have to use. So I am very happy to participate in the 3 days event, and again double happy to inaugurate this 3 days the conference. Why I am double happy? Because this year our Department of Library and Information Science, Karnataka University, Dharwad is also celebrating the Diamond Jubilee year. So your college is 1 year junior to my department. We have started in the year 62 and 63. You have also started 63 and 64. It's only 1 year difference. That is how we became a globally recognized Department of Library and Information Science, because we have completed already 60 years, and I hope and wish this JSS Science and Technology Institutes will grow very fast, and it is going to get recognition that's at the global level as soon as possible. With these few words, I thank you once again.
Thank you, sir, for your thought-provoking address. The greatest education in the world is watching the masters at work. On behalf of JSS Science and Technology University and the Library and Information Center, I request Dr. A.N. Santosh Kumar, sir, Vice Chancellor, to felicitate our distinguished chief guest, and also I request with all dignitaries on the dais to join the guest chair. Thank you all. Now, I request with our Vice Chancellor of JSS Science and Technology University, Dr. N. Santosh Kumar sir, to deliver the presidential address.
A very good morning to all of you. At the outset, I submit my humble pronouns to the lotus feet of His Holiness, Jagadguru Sri Shivaratri Deshikendra Swamiji, and seek His divine blessings. Chief guest of today's inaugural function, Professor B.D. Kumbar, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Damgere University, Damgere. Principal, Professor S.B. Kiwade, Registrar in charge, Dr. B.S. Harish, convener of the workshop, Sri K.L. Basappa, distinguished speakers for the 3 days, Mrs. Kumbar, all the participants, dear colleagues and friends. It indeed gives me a great pleasure to be a part of this inaugural function for a 3-day workshop on scholarly publications, tools and techniques. The experience of Kumbar was speaking, the rich experience of over 3 decades. He has given a very clear picture about the Indian scenario. He has also mentioned very clearly what is the structure of a paper, how paper should be prepared and presented. He has also reiterated the roles and responsibilities of the library personnel, which is very important and very crucial in the entire process of dissemination of knowledge. Now the topic that is chosen, the theme of this particular workshop is scholarly publications. The first question that comes to the mind is, do we have enough scholarly publications? Yes, we do have number of publications. There is no doubt for publications. But when it comes to scholarly publications, yes. Recently I was going through an article where they say 80% of the articles that are published, they are not going to be of any use to anybody. It's only the 20% which is really going to contribute to the overall development of the scientific community, add value to the existing body of knowledge in any chosen field. Now, why is this happening? As the Honorable Vice Chancellor mentioned, we are caught in a vicious circle. UGC, AICT and the college administration and management insist that you publish papers. Otherwise, we will not give promotions. We will not give you increments. So you go and publish something in some journal, which are all predatory in nature, all paid journals. As he said, it's a multi-million-dollar industry today worldwide. 10 people get together, start a journal, start inviting. Initially they say it's all free, but slowly they say only the other charges you have to pay 3,000 rupees, 5,000 rupees. But the circumstances will force a lot of researchers to go for such kind of journals, because they have to go back and show to their institutions that they have also published, and in the process show that they are also very erudite and scholarly. Unfortunately not. Any research, when undertaken, involves time, involves money. Whether the government gives it or the management gives it, money should be spent well. Research should have a definite outcome. When you have an outcome, what is the use of the research if you cannot disseminate whatever you have found or whatever is the outcome of your research if it doesn't reach large number of people. If you recall, in India we have had some of the most beautiful technologies which were developed thousands of years back, but yet today it is not there. All ancient technologies, they were available, but today is not available because we did not disseminate this particular information and knowledge to the. So it is, we are all duty bound, having used that particular resource, scarcely available resource, these grants, the money that is available to you, it becomes our duty to see that the outcome of the research reaches out to a larger number of people so that they also benefit. In the age of information technology and the advancement in the IT, it becomes that much more easy for us to disseminate knowledge. But one should be wary of the kind of predatory journals. Scholarly journals, yes. How to choose which are the scholarly journals? That itself is a major challenge for researchers. There is not enough guidance on all this. Also, as he very rightly said, there are certain pitfalls. There are certain issues like plagiarism, copying without acknowledging. In fact, it is criminal now. Without acknowledging, you directly cannot take. Recently, I was talking to a young student about this concept of this plagiarism, and he said that is not a problem anymore. I asked him, no problem sir, we have got paraphrasing tools. We take the paper, one paragraph you take, you put it in the paraphrasing this one. You are not happy, again put the same thing once more in the paraphrasing this one. It comes out. Of course, sometimes the meaning, the context, everything changes, but that we will manage. Now, this is where ethics come. So people should guide them properly. It is not simply coming and making some publication and getting citations. And as he very rightly said, it is just not the quantity, quality also matters. Recently, one article, medical science, one single article has 9,200 citations in a span of just 2 years. So having publications, normally we say, I have more than 100 publications. But if you see the citations, a lot of people do not even have an idea of what citation is, what is the H index, what is the I index, etc. So I think this particular workshop will definitely throw light on all these. Other important thing which I'm sure will be addressed in this particular workshop is fabrication. There are people who think that they are very, very clever. Things which are not there, they fabricate and insert in their articles and in their all these things doesn't add up to good values and publication ethics. There should not be any fabrication. What is the result? You have to use. There are a lot of things which happen in this process. I told you it's a vicious cycle. Unless we come out of this particular mindset, the money that the government is spending or individuals are spending is going to go a big waste. Inappropriate authorships, falsification of data. It's a major challenge today. Misleading, putting something which is actually not doesn't have any scientific proof. And somebody else somewhere will think that what you have said in your article is right. Based on that, he will start doing his research. How are we misleading the future generations? And duplicate submissions. Just for the sake of money, there are people who will accept. But one paper submitted to many journals. All these are definitely not part of good practice. There are a lot of other issues, but the best thing is today we have a number of tools and techniques to address, which will tell us how exactly papers are to be. If you compare the articles that are published in India and some of the articles published elsewhere in the world which are highly recognized, what we lack is the presentation skills. We also have sufficient amount of data with us. We conduct good quality research. There are leading laboratories, research, good researchers, good guides, good supervision. But somewhere down the line, what we lack is the presentation skills. How to put the data and how to present it to people, how to make it more appealing. How are you going to convey your conclusions, your findings to the outside world is an art. There are some papers, you read them again and again. We don't know why this particular paper is first of all in the public domain. It doesn't make any sense. And there are a lot of people who do not understand. Which means that we have to give importance for the way we have to present, for which there are very many tools today. As he said, there are a number of softwares which are available, software packages. You don't even have to do anything. You collect the data and give it. All you have to do is validate the data, check for its reliability, and feed it into various packages like SPSS and all these, MATLAB, etc. It is even going to give you the final answers. The variance I don't have to calculate now. It gives you the variance. T-distribution, chi-square, what you want, everything is available. Only thing is we should know how to use it, when to use what tool, and how to make a presentation. I am definitely sure and positive about it that this particular 3-day workshop on scholarly articles will help all the participants in not only preparing scholarly publications, will use proper tools and techniques. They should also go back and tell their other colleagues about the use of these tools and techniques. I congratulate the Department of Library and Information Center, especially KL Basappa, and the entire team for organizing this 3-day workshop, especially in the Diamond Jubilee year of Sri Jayachamraja College of Engineering, which is a constituent college of JSS Science and Technology University. I thank one and all. I hope you have got a pleasant and good learning in these 3 days, especially with scholars who are going to make some presentations on various topics. The topics are also interesting. Definitely, it should be an eye-opener for most of you who are all participating here. I once again thank for the opportunity that is given, and I must thank here Professor B.D. Kumbar for an exemplary speech, the address what he made through his experience. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring presidential address. I now request Professor Bindu A.S. to propose the vote of thanks.
Good morning all. Firstly, I offer my humble pranams to the Lotus Feet of Holiness Sri Sri Shivaratri Deshikendra Mahaswamiji for his blessings. I, Bindu, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering. I feel incredibly honored and privileged to have been allowed to extend the vote of thanks on this occasion. Firstly, I thank JSS Mahavidyapita for extending their support in conducting this workshop. I heartily thank Professor B.D. Kumbar sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Davangere University, Davangere, for accepting our invitation to be the chief guest of this program. Thank you, sir. I extend my sincere thanks to Professor A.N. Santosh Kumar sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, JSS STU Mysuru, for presiding over the program and for his encouragement. Thank you, sir. I thank Dr. B.S. Hari sir, Deputy Registrar, for gracing today's program. Thank you, sir. Further, I also extend my sincere thanks to Dr. S.B. Kevade sir, our beloved Principal and Dean, SJCE, JSS STU Mysuru, for helping us to make this program. Thank you, sir. I thank all the advisory committee members for the support in conducting this event. I thank all the deans, university officers, HODs of various departments. And I also thank Sri K.L. Basappa sir, librarian and head JSS STU Mysuru, for organizing this wonderful event. Thank you, sir. I thank Mrs. Kumbar's wife to be the part of this program. Thank you, ma'am. Finally, I would like to extend my thanks to resource persons, participants, and all other who are present here. Once again, thank you all.